naughty. Pulls up, just come out.
Alarm you, of course, but we must tell you this boat has enough life-saving equipment for everybody on board. Life rings, life rafts and life jackets are stored around the boat. They're all clearly marked. Has anybody ever seen Tower Bridge open? Well, a few people. You do have to be quite lucky to see the bridge open today, as this happens only about 1,000 times a year on average, which sounds like a lot, but it used to average 30 times every day. Very well used when it's first built. Today it's part of a museum. You can go into the bridge, up onto the footbridges at the top, walk across. There's a glass floor up there. You can go down into the south side to the steam engines and see how the bridge used to be operated. It's now electric. And here on your right, the Tower of London. Over 900 years of English and French history inside the tower. And a lot of it very gruesome. The main part of the tower is the 4 towers in the middle. Now they're called the White Towers, or the Norman Keep. They date back to the time of William the Conqueror, 1078. Does anybody know what William the Conqueror was called before he conquered London? William. You might not learn much today, ladies and gentlemen. He was known as William of Normandy, and he did have a name that I cannot repeat on this microphone in fear of losing my job. But it's factual, it's historic. You can ask me when you get off. But if we say that William's parents never married, I think we can leave it. Now here on your left we have 2 large grey warships. We're passing the British warship and the Dutch one here on the left-hand side. The Dutch one that you can see, this is a survey vessel. I don't know how to pronounce it, Loomis, I believe. And the one on the inside, that's the largest light cruiser ever built by our Royal Navy. It's called the HMS Belfast. Saw action all throughout the Second World War, but they moored it here permanently in the 70s, now part of the Imperial War Museum. You can see a lot of people walking around. You can see some children waving at you. Give them a little wave over there. That's probably the most fun they've had all day. Whilst we're looking left, here you can see a tall glass building. It's called the Shard. 1,017 feet. Now the biggest building in Western Europe. The Shard of Glass. Go to the top of that building. Look out of the window. You'll pay £30 for that privilege.
Wow.
It's a lot of money, isn't it?
£30.
We do know a way where you can see London's skyline for free. Have you heard of Google Maps? Yeah. But you might not have heard of this building on your right. Look at the one that gets wider towards the top. You can see a few people up there. It's nicknamed the Walkie-Talkie. On the top floor is a public garden, and it's free of charge for you to go there. So go on the internet, type in London Sky Garden. It will take you to their website. You can book in advance. Or just turn up at the building with identification. If it's not busy, you go straight up, free of charge. Save yourself a lot of money. You'll thank me later. And ahead of the boats is a famous bridge. Is anybody going to shout out the name of this bridge? Well done, sir. What about the rest of you? This is it, London Bridge. Probably not what you expected to see. Just think, some of you have travelled thousands of miles to see this. I'm sorry to disappoint you. But remember, it's not this London Bridge that made it so famous. This is the 5th one that stood here since the Romans crossed the Thames back in 43 AD. There is nearly 2,000 years of London Bridge history. And on your left, for any children on the boat, a small pirate ship in a dockway. This is the replica of Sir Francis Drake's ship, the Golden Plain. Drake, he was the first English captain to circumnavigate the world. He did so on a ship like that one with a crew of 80 men. So there you go, a pirate ship for the children. And ahead of the boat, the Cannon Street Railway Bridge. There is many interesting bridges across the River Thames, and this isn't one of them. Just an old railway bridge. The next bridge is a little story we can tell you. It's called the Southwark Bridge. You look up there and you don't see a lot of traffic on the bridge, and when you do, it's generally professional drivers, buses, coaches, lorries and taxis, etc. You see, the approach roads of the bridge are well hidden in the back streets. Not many people find the bridge to use it, which makes it ironic because this bridge was only built to take congestion off the old London Bridge. Southwark is the name of the bridge, and it's the name of the area on your left. This on your left is years ago is where you'd come to be entertained. They called it the stews of London. The red light district today is what we would call it. You find all the theatres and taverns over here. There is a theatre that remains. Well, it's a replica. Just here on your left, the white building with the thatched roof, the replica of Shakespeare's Globe Theatre, which opens only throughout our summer month. They reenact Shakespeare's traditional plays, all played out in their traditional style. Do you know, the original Globe Theatre burnt down, but it didn't burn down during the Great Fire of London. It burnt down during a performance of Henry VIII. They wanted a sound effect of a cannon, so they used a cannon. It misfired and the building burnt down. That's what happened to the original Globe. Ahead of the boats is a famous bridge. I don't know if anyone recognises it. Has anybody ever seen the film, the Harry Potter film, Half-Blood Prince? Some of you have. I haven't. But I've been told that this bridge is in the film. The Death Eaters fly around the bridge and it falls down, something like that. The Harry Potter Bridge. Others call it the Wibbly Wobbly Bridge. When it had its grand opening by the Queen, 3 hours later it had its grand closing. It was wobbling violently, people was falling over. Now safe to walk on, as you can see, although they are renovating the bridge. And behind us, on your right, there's you can only see the top of it, the dome and the golden cross of St. Paul's Cathedral. My favourite building here in London. St. Paul's Cathedral was opened in the year 1710. It only took 35 years to construct. Sounds like a long time. In the 16 and 1700s, that was very quick. Look above the dome. Can you see there's people up there? Again, you can walk to the top. I've been up there. There's one problem, or 528 problems to say you have to walk the stairs. It's a long way up there. But when you're at the top, there's a glass floor. You can stand on the glass floor, look down through the dome into the cathedral itself. Well worth the money. Took me about 30 minutes to walk to the top, about 25 minutes to walk back down, and about a week to recover. And there's a pub close by, that helps. Ahead of us is the Blackfriars group of bridges. The first one is a railway bridge, that's why there's a train on top of it and some miserable looking people. Followed closely by a road bridge. Between the two bridges, you'll see just red columns. Now this is all what remains from the first railway bridge. Brunel, the London, Chatham and Dover Railway. If you've been on a journey anywhere in this country, you've been on, under or through something that Brunel built. Very famous Victorian engineer. And this is the lowest bridge that we're going to go through today. And we're at a halfway point of our journey. So how are we doing? Are you enjoying yourselves? Yeah, fantastic. I like to ask as we go through the low bridge, as it echoes, and it seems like more people are having fun. We slow the boat down as we come past the works here on the right hand side. This is all for a new sewer that is being dug beneath the river. Now we have a sewer already, but it's Victorian, and it was built when our population was just 2 million. There's now over 8 million people living in Greater London. The Victorian sewer cannot cope with the sheer amount of people we have here in London. So they've had to build a new one. And that's what they're doing here when you're going. Now the sewer we use, as I say, is the Victorian one, and that runs underneath the road here on your right. Look just ahead of us and you'll see green lions' heads. If you ever see these, it marks the Victoria Embankment, and it was only put here in the 1860s when Bazalgette built our sewers. So the Thames used to be quite a bit wider than what it is today. There you go, you can see some of the canoeists come out for a little paddle. I think someone's gone missing. As we're looking right, can you see that blue telephone box just by the last black lamppost? You may remember these from the black and white movies. This is what the police would use before they had radios. They would go to these and call for backup. A famous number, Whitehall 1212. These was in the Sherlock Holmes films. And next to it you see a red telephone box. I'm sure you've seen hundreds in London. Designed by Sir Giles Gilbert Scott. Designed in such a way that English gentlemen could step inside without the need to remove his top hat. That's why our telephone boxes are so tall. Okay? Now of course they're all being replaced by modern telephone boxes and mobile phones, and of course nobody really wears a top hat anymore. Or if you're a tourist and you want to take a selfie on your selfie stick, sure there's plenty of room inside. This was the Royal Barge here on your right years ago. It's hard to believe, isn't it? It's called the yacht today. It's a floating restaurant, but it was called the St. Catherine. Whenever the royal family or foreign dignitaries travelled on the Thames, that was the boat they used to use. The Queen, when she comes on the Thames today, she likes to travel in style. She comes on here with us. The Queen has been on these boats when they was built in the year 2000 and the Millennium Dome was opening. She came and officially named all of these boats. She hasn't been back since, as she didn't know the country. Ahead of us, we have the Waterloo Bridge, opened 1945, known as the Ladies' Bridge, constructed throughout the Second World War by a mainly female workforce. This is the Ladies' Bridge. Well done, the ladies. Now through the Waterloo Bridge, and on your right, there's a building with a clock face.
Where's that? Ah, this one.
See it here, a few of you saying Big Ben. Well, this building was owned by Shell, the petroleum company. This clock they nicknamed Big Benzine. It's very close. Would you believe that is the biggest clock face here in London? Slightly bigger than the one at Big Ben. To give you an idea of the size, the minute hand is over 13 feet long, and it weighs so heavy that it takes 60 minutes to complete a full circuit for that face, which is impressive, and my best joke. Thank you, sir. On your right, you can see Cleopatra's Needle. That is London's oldest monument. 3,500 years old at least, presented to this country in 1819. These columns was always built in pairs, the sister needle to that one, Central Park. And ahead of the boat, so we have the Charing Cross Railway Bridge. We're actually going beneath the railway line and above one at the same time. The Bakerloo line and Northern line crosses the river in a tunnel here. We like to wave to people as we go through. You going to join in? Yeah, come on, waving's the same in all countries, apart from Mexico, of course. Did they wave back? Yeah. They don't always wave back. So the bridge on the other side, shake. Quite a few people up there protesting today. I don't know what for, I can't read the signs.
Oh, no.
I'm guessing something to do with that, mate.
I didn't know if they were typing out.
Doesn't look like a million people. Yeah. There's only 16.4 missing. Here on your left, so we have the London Eye. You can't miss this, can you? 450 feet tall. Now the fourth largest observation wheel in the world, still the biggest in Europe. Has anybody been on the London Eye? No? A few of you going on it? Excited? Yeah, good. Most people that go up there, they have a great time. And they say on a nice clear day, from the top, you'll see 25 miles in all directions. That's some view. They tell us the London Eye has become the second most popular place in Europe to ask your loved one to marry you. And the most popular place, of course, is this boat. So if you're ready, Dave, where's Dave? But that got awkward for anyone called Dave. Of course it's the Eiffel Tower in Paris. It goes without saying. But if you've been to the Eiffel Tower, you may know they have a lift, an elevator. When you've had enough, you press the button, you can go down. You don't have this luxury on the wheel. What I'm saying, gentlemen, if you're thinking of taking your good lady on the wheel, then you expect to propose, make sure she's going to say yes. That could be a very long and awkward 15 minutes coming back down again. You'd have people just staring at you and laughing awkwardly. Very similar to how this commentary's gone for me, actually. Not a good idea. Marriage. And we're turning the boat around. And as we turn, we all get a nice side-on view of the Houses of Parliament, the seat of the British government, opened in 1852 by Queen Victoria. The tower at the far end with the flagpole is called the Victoria Tower. The tower at this end, everybody calls it Big Ben, but that is the Elizabeth Tower or the Great Clock, Westminster. Now you can see they're doing a lot of work on the tower at the moment. You see there's a lot of tunnels under London, a lot of sewers, a lot of metro systems. And they say that the clock tower is subsiding. It is slightly listing to the west. And although it is listing, it has more support than our current Prime Minister. Try to keep it topical. I don't like to get political, guys, to be honest. It is leaning, that's why they're fixing it. And they're also doing work on the bell. The bell's not ringing at the moment. They cleaned one of the clock faces. They got the other three to do. They're doing a lot of work. And the bell. The tower you see is the Great Clock of Westminster or the Elizabeth Tower. So when you go back home to your hometown, wherever in the world that may be, tell your friends you've been to London, and I'm sure they'll ask you, did you see Big Ben? And now you tell them no. Nobody can see Big Ben, you can only hear it. Explain that story to them, and they'll wish that they never asked you. But I bet you're glad I told you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are here now. This is Westminster Pier over on the left-hand side. I would love to carry on talking, but you're going to get off the boat, and I'll feel rather silly. So I'm going to conclude the commentary about now. There is a few things to mention though. First of all, and most importantly, is safety. Take your pictures now, that's what you're here for. Then return to your seats, stay in your seats until we're safe. In case we take a bump on the pier, we don't want to see anybody falling over, okay? So for your safety, stay seated. Take a good look around you. Make sure you've got all of your personal belongings with you. People do lose things here on the boat, and we don't like to see it happen, okay? So please check your pockets, check the floor, check your pockets again, okay? Mind your step when getting off. And I'd like to thank you all very much for your kind attention throughout my commentary today, especially those of you from overseas. I know it can be difficult coming into another country and listening to someone go on about who knows what. You've all been very quiet and very patient, and it's made it much easier for me. So thanks again. I thank you. You're all very kind. Thank you. Thank you very much. We did say at the beginning, we're not commentators, we're just Thames watermen, captains on the river. We try our best to share our knowledge with you. Hopefully we make your trip memorable and more enjoyable. But as I said, it's not our job. We do commentaries voluntary. As that is the case, we've got an old tradition on the Thames. If you've understood and enjoyed the few words, you'd like to show any appreciation, you're welcome to on leaving. We stand at the gate, we've got an old champagne bucket. Drop a coin in the bucket if you wish, but remember, putting in this bucket is voluntary. Please also remember that I will be the person helping you off the boats. Okay? Thought I'd put that out there. But joking aside, thanks for listening. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Have you had a good time? Yeah, thanks for coming guys. Thank you.